All right, everyone. Welcome once again. It is Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for manufacturing e-commerce success. And wow, we have an exciting show for you today. I'm Damon Pistolka. I'm one of your co-hosts, and that pretty gentleman way over there on the other side is Kurt Anderson, my co-host. Today, we're going to be talking about the 2024 Industrial Marketing Summit, doing a preview. We are getting the information straight from the people putting this event on. Kurt Anderson, my friend, take it away.
Damon, dude, did you get a good night's sleep last night? I hope you did.
I did.
You stretch this morning? I hope you did. Man, this is just gonna be pure fire. So, guys, happy Friday. And Damon, what a great way to close out 2023. This is our last episode of the year. And so we saved, don't tell anybody else that was on the show, but we did save one of the best for last. How's that? So anybody out there listen? All right. So drop a note in the chat box. Let us know that you're there, man. You absolutely want to connect with these three. So we're going to go around the horn, do some introductions.
Yep.
As Damon said, Damon, that was a great introduction, man. You did a nice job. That was impressive.
This is my second one.
So, all right, let's get to our leadoff hitter, my dear friend, the one, the only Wendy Covey from TREW Marketing down in Austin, Texas. Wendy, happy Friday. How are you?
Happy Friday. I'm doing amazing. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, we have tons to talk about. So, all right, so Wendy's our leadoff hitter. We're going to jump into our second batter of the day. Adam Beck, what is up, brother, from CADENAS Parts Solutions? Happy Friday to you. How are you?
Back at you. Thanks for having us. Super
Absolutely. Oh, what an honor. What a thrill. And hey, batting third, man, our power hitter, Joe Sullivan from Gorilla 76. My friend Joe, how are you, dude?
I'm doing great. Yeah, thanks guys for having us. I did one of these with you. It must have been about a year ago or so. So it's great to be back. I really appreciate it.
It's been, and I think, you know what? So Joe, you've been on. Wendy, I think you're a repeat offender maybe a couple times, right? So I don't know. Damon, she needs to be a better judge of character, I think.
Oh, maybe.
Yes, definitely there.
So, as a matter of fact, well, now, you know what, Adam? I said that you weren't on the show. That was not truth. We did a live show from the Industrial Marketing Summit in 2022 in the rock and roll city of Cleveland, Ohio. So, all right, Wendy, let's dive in here as we're going to dig into the Industrial Marketing Summit that is coming up in January. Man, I am just so fired up for this wonderful program. Anybody that is somebody needs to be at this program. And Wendy, before we go there, can you please tell folks a little bit about who is TREW Marketing? How do you make the world a better place?
Sure. So TREW Marketing is an agency focused on strategy and content development and digital programs. And we work specifically with highly technical companies, mostly in engineering. So that's what we do, what we're all about. We love to tell those difficult stories, help people build their brand strategy, and just, connect with engineers on a human level, not just a technical level. So that's what we do. And we're located in Austin, Texas. So I'm so happy to host the Industrial Summit, or be one of the three hosts, but the hometown host, if you will, and welcome everybody into my town.
Well, I love it. And that's cool because you're having it right at your house, right? You're
opening the doors.
Right in the backyard, right? Right. So we're going to be riding horses and all sorts of stuff. All right. Wendy, before we dig in, I believe you have a little book, if I'm not mistaken. I also believe you have a podcast with a similar type name as the book. Could you please share with folks about your book and your podcast, if you would, please?
That is correct. They are both called Content Marketing Engineered, and it's a practical guide to help marketers and technical business owners understand what content marketing is all about, how to build a marketing plan, and just the ins and outs of each type of content, how to construct that, how to measure results. So it's a very tactical guide. It's been out, came out in 2020. So coming on almost 4 years.
Nice. Well, congratulations. Wow. Well, again, welcome to the program. You've been, just a wonderful friend, great support. We've had the honor of meeting up together in person. And I will tell everybody here, Wendy is a dynamo public speaker and presenter. I am just so thrilled for what's going to happen in January here you're right in your backyard, no less. So thank you for being a host in your backyard. I'm just kidding. So Adam, let's come to you, my friend. Talk to us. How on earth? I know all three folks here, Damon, are just fierce advocates for U.S. manufacturing. We just applaud you guys, commend you guys. Thank you guys. Adam, how do you and CADENAS, how do you guys make the world a better place?
Yeah. So I'm the director of marketing at a company called CADENAS Parts Solutions. And what we do is we help component manufacturers create shareable versions of their content to put online. So unlike the rest of you guys, we're not an agency. We're really a tool and a content marketing platform for industrial component manufacturers.
Well, I love it. And we had one of your colleagues on the program where we had a couple of your clients on doing testimonials.
Yep.
We were doing trial runs and demos. And I know at the Industrial Marketing Summit,
Amazing
I'm
stuff.
sure you guys can get demos of Adam's little software tool, if you will, please, in Austin, Texas, at Wendy's backyard at the end of January. So let's slide over to our friend Joseph Sullivan. Joe, my friend, Gorilla 76, founded in 2006. Can you please share with folks how you and your team make the world a better place?
Yeah, absolutely. So we essentially help B2B manufacturers build revenue-focused marketing programs. We're trying to kind of take a sector that has been very sales driven traditionally, and to them marketing has meant we go to trade shows and we do some print ads and maybe some Google ads if we're really innovative, and help them think completely differently about how they go to market and the role that marketing really needs to play there. So our client base is OEMs, contract manufacturers, robotic systems integrators, and that's kind of where we built our niche. It's been over 17 years now, which is kind of nuts to think about. So yeah, that's us.
Well, very impressive,
Cool
man.
stuff.
I tell you. Hey, we've got a couple of friends here. Whitney
Whitney's here.
Houston is in the house here today from your fellow Texan there, Wendy.
Yep.
We've got Gail from over the border. And so, Gail, happy Friday. Again, guys, drop a note in the chat box. Let us know that you're out there. You want to connect with these three on LinkedIn. All sorts of exciting things going on. Wendy, let's come to you, my friend. How on earth did this little party that you're throwing at the end of January, how did the three masterminds create this thing? Please share. Curious minds want to know.
If you wouldn't mind, I love when Adam tells this story.
There we go.
So I'm going to hand off right here. The baton is yours, Adam.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. So we have done this event twice before as within content marketing world. Joe was the MC at the last one. Wendy was a presenter. Kurt, you were there yourself. Right. So you saw it with your own eyes. We had a packed house, and we asked a lot of people from that room what they wanted to see. And everything that we heard was, they wanted more content. They wanted a deeper dive, and they wanted more. They just wanted more of everything. And the only way that we could really make that happen was to kind of make it a larger event, take it out on its own. And I talked to Joe and Wendy about it, and they were all in, and their teams have been huge supporters and a huge part of making it happen. So that's been really exciting.
Cool.
So Adam, let's go there for a minute. So yeah, I had the honor and privilege of being at the conference in Cleveland. Man, was that a good time. Joe, we went out to dinner. We had a killer dinner with Nicole Donnelly and Jeff Long. We had a great time. Went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Just what a wonderful boy. And again, like we were coming just kind of fresh out of COVID. So like just, those in-person connections were just so wonderful. And it was the first time for a bunch of us meeting. Wendy got to meet you for the first time, Adam. So Adam, you guys had signed up in 2019. So pre-COVID, you came back in 22. What's it like for a company? Like how, just share with folks, what's it, bandwidth, muscle, the time, energy to put on something like this. Just talk a little bit from your experience in the past.
It was a lift. The first couple of times it was a lift, but it was really all promotional. We just had to focus just like broadcasting that this thing is a thing and to get people there. Now taking it on our own, now all of the logistics, all of the infrastructure the content marketing world brought to it, we're bootstrapping and making, we're figuring out everything ourselves. And fortunately, Wendy has an event planning background. We have Peyton on the team, who's an ace at this. And so we're not completely coming at it from zero, but there's a lot of logistics to put on an event and make sure people have food and hotels and all the things that go into it.
And parties. Don't forget the parties.
Oh, yeah, parties.
Oh, yeah.
Got to focus on the parties. So, Wendy, so you're used to being on the stage. How's this thrown on the hat of like being the hostess? Is this, what's this like from your perspective?
I absolutely love it. I spent 10 years of my early career as the events manager at National Instruments. And I used to be in charge of a 5,000 person conference called NI Week. So it's bringing me back to those times, albeit this is a little bit smaller, for now.
Yeah.
So I love doing this. I love events. In particular, as a marketer, what I love about events is there's a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
You can measure it and you can shut the books and then start over again. And so I love that about it. And then the energy that comes from bringing people together in person, there's just nothing like it. And we all felt very strongly this shouldn't be a virtual event. This should be in person. It should be somewhere cool where marketers don't get to go too often. So, no offense to Cleveland. Yeah, no offense to Cleveland, and warm too, or Chicago or Anaheim, but we all have to go there all the time. And so let's go somewhere that felt fresh and unique. And so I think it's been well received coming to Austin.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. And Joe, go ahead, Damon. What do you got?
We got a comment here from Kelly. She says
Kelly's gonna
can't wait to party in Austin, so she's happy about it.
Hey, bring your cowboy hat. It's gonna be a great time in Austin. And now now you're an A&M grad, I believe, right? Do I have that right?
Yeah.
Aren't you A&M? So we won't talk about the Longhorns, but anyway, well, let's skip football for right now. So Joe, let's come back to you.
They do play football, don't they?
Do they have a football team at Texas Longhorns? They have a football
We don't need to talk about football today, really. We can just skip right over that part.
They just play hockey, I think, Damon. They just play hockey.
I think both of you could be equally disappointed this year.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll
we gotta. Kurt can't start talking about Texas A&M without talking about the Ohio State. I just gotta. We can go on with this for a long time.
Yes, we could.
Now, being a Washington State dad, right? We can't talk about the Huskies either, so I don't think any of us can talk about.
No. It's just all.
We digress. Let's get back on track here. So, Joe Sullivan, my friend, you were doing an amazing job on stage all day when I saw you at the Industrial Marketing Summit in Cleveland. What inspired you to kind of join this little soiree? Did Adam twist your arm, or were you just fired up and just ready to run into this program?
Yeah, Adam basically just made me do it, and I guess I had to say yes.
He's a big bully, isn't Adam's a bully?
I was scared of the guy. I can remember, Adam, we were walking back that night, and I remember walking down the street with you in Cleveland and just sort of talking about this and how, man, I don't think we need content marketing world to do this thing and to do it bigger and better. And that was the first time it sort of had crossed my mind. We'd been thinking about at Gorilla, we've been thinking about starting to do live events in some capacity coming out of COVID, but it's a lot to take on.
Right.
And I just love the idea that here's Wendy and here's Adam, and we've been through this together, and now we can own it. We got a little of a head start. It made it feel a lot more attainable to have a few other organizations involved where we can kind of divide and conquer. And what really motivated me though was, maybe some people listening are familiar with what we've been running Industrial Marketing Live at Gorilla, where twice a month we have these Thursday sessions where we just industrial marketers show up and we teach for 20 minutes and we do Q&A, and there's always a different theme and topic. And we surveyed that group and said, well, what do you want? What more do you want from us? How can we do better? And we just kept hearing live event, and get these people together in person. We all are starting to get to know each other, and nobody's ever been in a room with each other. And so that was probably the biggest driver for me and my team too, to get them really excited about it. So it just made sense. All that sort of came together and timing seemed right.
Well, also the marketing sensibilities we're all just aligned on just how we approach things, how we, how much we want to put our logos and our brands not in the forefront. And that it's really all about the content and helping everyone grow. And it's it's just like this perfect alignment of all three companies right now. And that's one of the really awesome things about it.
Yeah, I love that. And Adam, while you're on stage here, let's go here. Is there culturally, say upper I don't know, execs, up the food chain, whatever. Or they're hey, we want to get more live events pre-COVID, post-COVID. Is this in your DNA of hey, we want to be part of this? What's inspired you to get involved with it?
And my sales team will laugh when I say this. I get pitched on events that I shoot down constantly. I'm the director of marketing, and I'm like, if we want to, I have a high bar for doing a trade show booth or whatever the thing is. But and the challenge there is that like it tends to be is the audience a fit, or is the title a fit? Is there a reason to be there, or is it just we're going because we always did, or so and so is already there? But when you can do it and you're building it and it's custom and it all is feeds into the ecosystem in the right way, you can get behind it. And it's not this isn't a sales event. This is like a bringing up the message event and helping industrial marketing increase its profile and helping everybody grow together.
Well, I love that. And Wendy, as I've gotten to know you and admire and respect you, and I know, you go to different events. I know you were at Content Marketing World, I believe in DC earlier. You were hanging out with Nicole Donnelly. I heard all sorts of fun things. And so, I've always viewed you as like fierce educator, and that's kind of like what I viewed the summit from Cleveland and what you guys are putting together. And we're going to dive into like the topics and speakers. Like you guys have really lined up just a Hall of Fame crew of speakers here. But like, how important is that education piece? Why don't you go there? Like, as you guys came, like Adam saying, you guys have like perfect chemistry, perfectly aligned. Talk about the education piece for the summit.
Yeah, it's critical. Well, one, we recognize there is a pretty big gap here. You go to a B2B conference as an industrial marketer and you don't see yourself reflected in those presentations. We know our personas are very unique. Their buying behavior is very unique. And so the need for education has been here ever since I started my agency and I'm sure Joe feels the same with his, of just these buyers are different. This industry is different. And how do we help these marketers take B2B tactics, but take it, more tailored towards this audience, and then overcome these barriers that these technical business owners have, where they just think, oh, we can just have referrals and trade shows and, marketing, just give us names to call, we'll just cold call, that's fine. And so really helping industrial marketers to understand how to overcome these objections, how to reach these skeptical technical buyers. So those are the types of things that we want to educate about. And that's why we felt like we needed this narrowly focused event. And so we were very particular about who we selected to be speakers and sponsors, and made sure that they were appropriate to this space. They had knowledge in this space and can speak very directly to people who are struggling with, getting stuff done in industrial marketing.
Well, I love that. Hey, Damon.
Got Greg
from last, man, I'm still hi. Greg was just here last week, just crushing it, talking about his dad, George, his son, Sam. And so I know he's a sponsor of the program, the guys at Windbound. So Greg, thank you for your support. Hey, Chris is here today. Big opportunity for well-executed live events in this space. Good to see you folks leading the way. Joseph, let's go here. Let's start, and all three of you guys, if you want to, let's start talking about the lineup, right? I mean, like, we're blessed and fortunate. We have a bunch of folks coming on. Mary Keogh was just here last week. We just mentioned Greg Mishu supporting you guys. We've got Eddie Saunders coming up, Chris Lukey, Jordan Yates. You guys have like the who's who of speakers. How did you go through that selection process, if you would please?
Yeah, I mean, I can kick it off, but Wendy, Adam, jump in here. I think there were a few people who we kind of knew out of the gate we would really love to have them come. MJ Smith, formerly MJ Peters, was one of them. She spoke last year. She's got relationships with all of us, I think, and I kind of look at her as kind of the cream of the crop of industrial marketers, and so she was top of my list. But MJ's currently CMO at Collab Software, engineering software, really amazing company. But she was on my list, and she's going to come in and talk about the transformative power of product marketing, which has really been kind of her specialty over the years and is relevant to, I think, a vast majority of people who are going to be there. So that was one there. I don't know, Adam, Wendy, I'll kind of pass to you guys and maybe talk about this from your angle.
Yeah. Another one that is notable, John Joyce, and his session is called Striking a Balance between human creativity and machine efficiency in industrial marketing. And he comes with a really unique background, a perspective as a fractional CMO and as a tool developer and a programmer. And he really brings this unique mix of marketing, chops and IT programming skills. So that should be really cool.
Love it. Wendy, take it away. Let's I've got the list in front of me. Let's hear some of the other folks.
Okay. Well, there were two areas that I wanted to make sure we covered. So one was making sure marketers were up with how much technology has changed and how to wrap your arms around that. And so we have a series of speakers on that. So we have a panel on AI, and that includes the co-founder of Jasper. So we're very thrilled to have him as a part of that panel. So talk about knowledge and cutting edge advice. So, and the panel also has practitioners who are working with these AI tools every day. So we wanted to make sure it wasn't just like, hey, what can AI do? But also how are industrials marketers using AI today? Right. And then along the lines of technology, we also have an SEO and AI focused session with Dale. Dale, I don't know if y'all know Dale Bertrand. He speaks a lot at marketing conferences, but he's so good at helping take all the changes that's happening in SEO and bringing it down to the practical. And John Joyce is going to be talking as well about how to incorporate technology into your day-to-day job. So the text front is really big. And then kind of over on the total opposite side, we're thrilled that we're going to be launching the 2024 State of Marketing to Engineers report at the event. So my buddy CJ over at Global Spec is going to join me on stage, and we'll be showing all the latest data, including how engineers use AI and do they trust it or not. So that there should be some fun takeaways from that research.
Well, I love it. Hey, let's pull up a couple comments we've got here. So, hey, Greg says he's excited to see MJ. Damon, what else you got for comments there?
Yeah, we got Gail's just saying,
hey, wowzer, right?
Yeah, wowzer event today.
Wowzer
it's gonna be good. Sure. And then Greg, I think, is like a lot of other people, the AI discussions are going to be top of mind with a lot of people because the hype, but also then just the real practical application of it. I think you're not going to just cover the hype. You're going to give them some practical application they can walk away and really consider and maybe even implement. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I love that.
Good stuff.
Greg says, hey, you know what? And while we're there, Wendy, let's you've been on the program. I believe a couple of times we've talked about the report, and then Damon, man, Wendy crushed it. We did a webinar earlier this year, Wendy. I don't know if you remember, at Purdue University, and we dug into the report. Man, did we have a good time? They want you back again this year. So just give everybody just a little snippet on this report that you're talking about. Just while we're here, let's go there for a minute.
Yeah. So imagine you're sitting in front of your CEO and you're saying, listen, we need to do more on social media, or we need to do more Google ads, or whatever it is. And they say, oh, I don't believe engineers do that. Or I don't believe engineers will fill out a form to download a white paper. Right. Well, the purpose of this research is to prove exactly that. How are the ways in which engineers and technical buyers seeking and consuming information to make purchase decisions? Are they going to social media? Are they listening to podcasts? What types of content do they prefer? So it's very practical questions to help you as a marketer determine, where to invest your budget, but also how to educate sales and leadership on how this buyer has changed, how much they're doing digitally before they want to engage with sales and that sort of thing. So I know it's helped us just at TREW Marketing as we consult with our clients on, look, we're just not coming from a place from experience, although we are, of course, but here's the data too. Hard to argue against all of that, right?
Right. Well, I'd say in the street cred that you're delivering for your company at TREW Marketing, getting behind this conference, number one, and how many years have you done the research project?
6 years now with Global Spec, and a decade overall. Yeah.
Well, I absolutely love it. And we just had our friend Greg Mishu was on a week ago today, and he was talking about the research project he just did. So guys, go check out Windbound and check out Greg, connect with Greg on LinkedIn, check out their research, and, go to TREW Marketing. And again, what I love about TREW Marketing, Wendy, every time you're on the program, I say this, you're that marketer that, like a lot of us are marketers, like the kids, the cobbler's kid with no shoes, as that expression goes. If you go to TREW Marketing, you just have an abundance of information for those technical buyers, all sorts of blogs, your podcasts. So you totally walk the walk. And so again, guys, check out Wendy's website. all sorts of great information. Joe, I want to stick on our speakers for a little bit because I feel we've got a few more people that I want to give shout outs to. So Eddie Saunders, you put Eddie on the same panel with Nikki, if I have this right, and I think Jordan, and then I think who else is on there? Like, I'm like, that's
Chris
like
Lukey is moderating that one.
Like, how, like, dude, like that's like a Hall of Fame, like that's like Babe Ruth and Reggie Jackson and I don't know who else all in one. So how did you pull those four together?
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a pretty incredible. We trust Chris Lukey as the as you know, one of the best podcast hosts out there that I've ever met, to be the one to rein the other three in, because you got a bunch of people who have a lot to say and a lot of knowledge to share, and so there's gonna be a lot of energy in that panel for sure. But yeah, the four of them are going to be, there are four faces that probably everybody here recognizes because you see them out there building a personal brand alongside the company brand. They're very visible on LinkedIn, and I think like what I hate seeing is when people are getting shut down by their companies or being censored about what they're talking about because they're afraid of what they're going to say. And I guess I'm just from the camp that you hire people that you trust, that have the best intentions of the company in mind, and let them do their thing in support of the brand too. And I think those are four people who have done that really well, where they've got a unique voice, but it works in the favor of the company and themselves. I've watched the same thing happen inside of my company. Is you set people loose and you empower them to build the personal brand. So really that's what their session is going to be about. It's called Find Your Voice, Humanize Your Brand, Stand Out in a Sea of User Generated Content. So yeah, I'm really excited to see those two, or those four, and especially see how Chris Lukey is able to keep them all reined in.
Well, I have to say, I mean, this lineup is phenomenal.
It really is.
I don't mean to be partial, but like that panel in itself is worth the trip to Austin, on top of like hanging out in Wendy's backyard. But I'm telling you right now, like Eddie Saunders is just like off the charts, just so good. Nikki is phenomenal. And hey, Joe, what city are you originally from?
I grew up in Milwaukee. Spent my whole childhood there, and then have spent my whole adult life in St. Louis. So me and Chris Lukey have the opposite.
Where did Chris Lukey grow up?
He's a St. Louis guy who grew up here, and then he lives in Milwaukee now. So it's kind of funny. We've flipped.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that.
I love that parallel with that. Yeah. So like you'll see Lukey like wearing his St. Louis Blues jersey on, and he's in Milwaukee, and Joe. So they do like a little swap. They pass each other on the way.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg Mishu drops a note. So hey, there's that link.
Right, get his report there. I downloaded and went through it. It's awesome.
Yeah, check out that report. So all right. Adam, any other speakers? I know, like, Joe, I might have to come back to you. Mary Keogh will be on stage. Let's talk about Mary for a second. She was just on the program last Monday or a week ago.
Wow. Incredible, guys.
Yeah, I can hit that. So Mary used to work at Gorilla for a couple of years. We watched her rise from, an experienced industrial marketer, but she like found her voice, and oh my gosh, has she taken off? Like one of my favorites. Like I feel like she was learning from us, and now we're learning from her. She just it took off, and one of my favorite people to listen to, though. I've watched her from client presentations when she was here to just what she's doing out there digitally. Mary's gonna be talking about getting marketing and sales on the same page, and I know from experience she knows how to do this. And so it's such an important topic. You just see across manufacturing these silos. Wendy, I'm sure you see it with just all the companies you consult, where marketing and sales are doing their own thing, and like here you are, two parts of the organization that are there to grow the business, and there's just such a lack of alignment. So she's going to get real tactical there and show you how to make that happen. So I'm super pumped about that one. And then the other one I wanted to hit on was two current gorillas, Grace Wright and Aaron Burrish, who are going to be essentially taking through a case study. We got permission from one of our clients. And the title of their session is How It's Done, Increasing Right Fit Leads by 195% in Just 90 Days. And they're going to show how we took a a manufacturing tech startup that does essentially vision inspection systems on production lines. A venture funded company with a board of advisors breathing down their neck that did not have time to just sort of do everything perfectly bit by bit. And so we had to approach it a little differently. And they're going to just take you through the entire playbook, and you can just learn from it and go use it and put it to use. So I'm excited about that, because that's going to be a very actionable session where you can come out of there and know what to do.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And
Very
Damon,
cool.
we hadn't met Mary prior to when she came on the live last
Yeah.
week. And like, she is legit, man.
Whoa.
She is a powerhouse.
Whoa.
And what a dynamo personality. Just, I mean, she has
Yeah.
that natural, it's kind of like Wendy, you feel like you've known Wendy your whole life. You've been just best friends. That's how Mary is. She's a mom of 3, if I'm not mistaken. And just what a gem she is. So I'm just super excited to hear Mary. Adam, let's come over to you. Anybody else that we want to talk about? I saw like Carla, Jared, any other?
Yeah, there's a couple. I did want to make a note on Grace and Aaron's session.
Yeah.
That's one of the workshops. And originally it was going to be either or proposition. We heard a lot of feedback, a lot of requests. So we made a way that everyone gets to go to all the workshops that is registered for the workshop. So that's a big,
Good for you guys.
sort of like on the fly change that we made that people should be pumped about. I know I am, because I want to go to both.
Yeah, exactly. Good for you.
And then, so one of the ones I wanted to highlight, Tim Scanlon, who is the global head of customer experience at Rockwell, is going to talk about how a major industrial brand, collects the data, assesses customer experience across all factors of their business, and how they implement those things. And it's a big undertaking, but there's a lot of really interesting nuggets we're going to be able to take away from how some of the best in the business are doing it.
Yeah.
Well, Damon, dude, like
this is something. This is something you've got to line up that's going to be just well received. It's going to be incredible, the knowledge you guys are going to share.
It's going to be fantastic. Hey, Damon, we're over the top of the hour. Just if anybody's joined us from a previous call, I just want to introduce our friends. We've got Wendy on stage. We've got Joe Sullivan. We've got Adam Beck. And so we are here talking about the Industrial Marketing Summit. If you just joined us, man, you want to hit the replay button and catch it from the beginning. But we're just diving into what's going to happen at the Industrial Marketing Summit in January in Wendy's backyard in Austin, Texas. Wendy, I hope people don't start showing up to your house because I keep saying that. But,
hey,
Damon,
as long as they bring corn for the deer, and cat treats, we'll be okay.
Yeah. So
lawn chairs.
We haven't said it now, but what's the web address for this, so people that are listening can understand where they should go to learn more about
it's really hard to remember. It's industrialmarketingsummit.com.
That's what I thought.
You can remember the name of the event. You can find it.
You know what? I think I'm gonna pull it up so then we could take a look at it. And
let's take a look at it. We could roll through it.
But before I do that, real quick, Wendy, I think now, Damon, we had a woman on our program a long time ago. Maybe not that long ago.
I bet you did have a woman on your program.
No, good point. Yeah, I mean, like, look at Wendy's hanging out with all these dudes on stage. But we had a woman on our program, and she wanted to name her son Chuck. Damon, do you remember why she wanted to name her son Chuck?
Oh, I know exactly who this woman is.
Wendy, why would somebody in your life want to name their son Chuck?
Because she has the last name Norris, obviously.
So one of our speakers you remember when Morgan said that?
Yeah.
And she makes amazing cookies. Remember that part?
She's an amazing cookie baker, man. So are there going to be cookies in your backyard from Morgan?
I mean, Morgan's going to be here, so for sure there's going to be some baked treats.
So let's go. Let's talk. And so Morgan's been on the program. I caught you and Morgan on stage. I tell you, she's like one of those speaks softly, carries a big stick, man. Like she's a very soft-spoken person, but she is just wonderful on stage. Share a little bit about Morgan and what she's going to be presenting.
Yeah. So Morgan's going to be talking about brand leadership, and we're getting a lot of requests for education and services around this right now, because as we look to 2024 with all of the changes in search with SGE and large language models, and just how noisy it's become with everybody just churning out content and blogs and trying to play the inbound game, if you will, it's become more and more important to work on your brand messaging what you want your brand to be associated with, what types of leadership campaigns you can run. And so she's going to be teaching about that, as well as how in the heck do we measure this? How can I justify this back to executives if this is moving the needle? To Joe's point of how is marketing a revenue driver? So as we do a brand campaign, but that couldn't be further from tracking leads to a sale. So how do we make sure that we can show a connection between brand and the valuation of the company and how well it's doing it at taking friction out of the buying journey?
Well, gosh, this is going to be so much fun. I wish, you know what? I almost wish it was end of January already. There's the case study that Joe was just talking about, that 195% increase. Here's everybody that we've been talking about. You've got, how did you land the co-founder of Jasper?
Well, it helps that they're here in Austin. So
Nice.
it's a quick trip for him.
Well, that's fantastic. I've been connecting with these guys. I just connected with Carla on LinkedIn. So I'm just super excited to meet her. Damon, we would love to have these folks on the program. We're going to scroll back up. Here's the little powwow that we were talking about earlier. Look at this crew right here, man. It's like a Hall of Fame.
That's going to be awesome.
So, all right, there's Mary. You guys can see my screen, right? I'm talking about my screen.
Yes.
All right, so you guys can see it. Here's our friend from Global Spec.
Yeah.
Wendy, just real quick, just a recap. What's CJ going to be talking about?
Yeah, so CJ and I are going to be giving highlights from that research report. So we just got the data in 2 days ago. So we're in mad analysis mode for over the holidays here to have it ready. And what we do with this report is we have some benchmarking things that we ask every year, and we look at trends. So things like that might be, what channels do you go for, and so what social media do you use? And then we ask new things each year. So a couple of the new things this year. So the AI questions that I mentioned before. And then we're also going to ask about social media for personal use. So we're going to try to separate, okay, we know you don't use Instagram for work, but do you use it personally? Because a lot of marketers have given us the feedback that, hey, I want to reach those engineers when they're off hours and do more culture posts. And so these won't be like, here's the white paper for, new ways to use RF devices, but this is going to be, just something soft, for culture. And so I think this will be a great question to inform that.
Fantastic. And here's Dale that you mentioned before. And then MJ, we've talked about. Everybody's super excited to see MJ. And then here's our 3 favorite folks right there, our host and hostess of the mostest. And so we cannot wait for this, guys. So again, I don't know if one of you guys could do me a favor. One of you guys, if you could, if you're on LinkedIn or if you've got it on your screen, or Damon, let's drop that Industrial Marketing Summit right in the chat box there, and let everybody know how to find the program. Joe, let's come to you, my friend. I've had people like reaching out to me like, hey, Kurt, we see that you're involved, or just, supporting, sponsoring, what have you. And just, what an honor, privilege, to partner with you guys and just support you. We're behind you 100%. Love what you guys are doing here. I've had that exact same sentiment. People are like, you know what? As a B2B marketer, there's nowhere for me to go. I don't want to be sitting next to the person that's like, there's a flower shop and there's the dentist, and like they're marketing all these different, retail, Main Street, retail businesses. They want to hang out with their B2B industrial marketers. Why is this place? Why is the Industrial Marketing Summit becoming the summit that all the cool kids should be attending? Can you please share that with folks?
Yeah, I mean, unless we're all missing something, this is kind of it. There's enough marketing conferences that go on. I mean, I loved that the last few years, Adam really was the one who made the Industrial Marketing Summit inside of Content Marketing World happen. But, it was a small percentage of everybody that was at a massive, national event at Content Marketing World. So I just think that there's something to, you kind of said it, Kurt, the thing we hear a lot of times inside of our Industrial Marketing Live community and from our, the people in marketing roles at our clients is like, we kind of feel alone sometimes, as industrial marketers. I said it earlier, but manufacturing organizations don't tend to be marketing heavy. That's changing for the better. I see it happening very, very slowly, bit by bit over the last decade or so. But if there's a marketing role at all, it's often the only person. If you're a $20 million business or less, and even the bigger ones might have a couple people or a small department. And So I think industrial marketers sort of, there's a lot of nuance to, marketing. And Wendy, you can speak to it better than anybody in terms of technical marketing, working with engineers. And I think people just feel a little bit isolated. So what we have found through the community we've built digitally is that it's just this huge breath of fresh air to be able to congregate with and ask questions of and get input from people who are sort of feeling the same things you're feeling inside of similar organizations. So that I think that's what's going to be really great about this event, is a chance to meet other people that are experiencing the same sorts of things you are. Continue to build relationships that maybe you've already started, but maybe just in a digital setting, and be there in person and have fun. Like, we've got some great happy hours and events planned that are not just part of, it's not just learning. It's just a good time for a bunch of people to be together for a couple of days. So I think that's kind of what's driving it.
Well, I love it. Hope you guys can't hear. I have a Rottweiler barking upstairs. So just, sorry. Hey, Allison's here today. Allison, thank you for joining us again. We've got comments coming in.
I dropped the link in the chat. So if people want to know.
Perfect. All right, guys. So click that link, check out the speakers we've been talking about. If you're just joining us, if you missed it, connect with Joe, connect with Adam, connect with Wendy. Adam, just share a little bit. We're going to start winding down here, but just share a little bit, like just some of the most rewarding experiences that you've had by being involved with the Industrial Marketing Summit. Since you're the seasoned veteran, what's been some huge wins for you and your company?
It's really the connections. I mean, I've met Wendy and Joe tangentially through this event years ago. I think I've seen the connections that we've helped build. I think that similar to Joe's Industrial Marketing Live, when industrial marketers can work together and they can bounce ideas off of each other and they're not just in a silo, that they can grow. And, our team, they all said, this event's cool, but the cocktail hour is the best part for us because everybody gets real. Everybody's talking, rock stars like Eddie Saunders are going to be there, and you can hang out and beer with Eddie. And it's not going to be one of those events that's so huge that you'll never cross paths with people. So really it's just the connections. It's putting industrial marketing at the forefront and planting a flag and saying, this is a real discipline that deserves attention. And this is a group that deserves to be, taken care of. And that's what we're all about.
Well, I love it. And this is really, you guys are pioneers and you're laying the groundwork for this to be the event. And we applaud you. We commend you. Adam, I don't know, is Eddie, quick question Damon and I had for you. Is Eddie required to wear the red pants? Like, will we be wearing the red pants at the summit? We were curious.
There's no requirements. Eddie does what Eddie does.
Eddie does what Eddie does. Man, isn't that, boy, that's a drop the mic right there. So Wendy, let's go here. Okay, all the cool kids in industrial marketing and manufacturing marketing are they're already signed up. The folks that need to be the cool kids, where any suggestions, any advice that you have for these folks that are like, what is this industrial marketing summit? Just any advice that you have for folks to get them signed up.
Yeah. Well, one, if you're unsure, we have a LinkedIn group. So the Industrial Marketing Summit on LinkedIn. So you can just read through the comments and the conversations to get a feel for the vibe of this group. But sign up, join us for the 1-day summit. You can join us for the day and a half, and that adds the workshops, and come hang out, meet other people, network. Don't worry. Solo marketers that are there, they're the only one. Feel welcome, and you find each other, you find your people. But really this whole group are going to be your people if you're an industrial marketer. So feel free to wear your cowboy boots and your cowboy hat if you want to, or not, or red pants or not. We'll take either way. And by the way, Austin, that time of year will either be 70 degrees or like 30. We don't know yet. Probably 70 though. I'm going to go for 70.
Don't pack yet. Don't pack yet.
Check it before you leave. Check it
or
before you leave.
Both, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah.
And hey, Kelly dropped the link in for the. I have not been in the LinkedIn group. Dan,
I have not seen it yet. I'm trying to find it here now. I will.
You got to join that group. All right. Well, I want to be mindful. I know you guys are super busy because you have this little party that you're preparing at the end of January 31st in Austin, Texas, Wendy's backyard. Joe, parting thoughts, words of wisdom that you want to share with our fine friends out there today as we close out. Damn it, I can't believe we're closing out 2023.
I know.
Joe, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I think I'd just encourage people to consider checking it out. I mean, I think it really is kind of a one of a kind thing for people in this niche. I just think the more you can find resources that are niched down, inside. And marketing is a broad thing, right? And like it's different for a lot of different types of companies, but this is a chance to see people who understand you and the things you're going through and have created we've created a program catered to you specifically. And I just think, I do think the best part about this is going to be just having all these people together and to congregate for a couple of days. So don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Adam, any parting thoughts, words of wisdom that you want to share with folks today?
industrialmarketingsummit.com. Registration links in the top right. Couple clicks and you'll be there.
Awesome. Wendy, my friend, any parting thoughts, words of wisdom that you want to share with everybody?
I just can't wait for this date to get here. I'm so excited, and just come on, let's have a big party.
Come on down. And Wendy, Damon, we might have a little live stream planned just to give you a heads up. So, and for the record, guys, I don't know if you guys knew this. When we were in Cleveland, Wendy, I just introduced you to Nicole, or I just met you for the first time, right? Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you remember, you and I sat next to each other. I'm telling you all about the MEP network. You're like, what's this MEP network, right?
Yeah.
And then you come to Purdue and absolutely crushed it. I introduced you to Nicole Donnelly, and we were sitting there, and I think you got done with your session. And I looked at Nicole, and I'm like, we should do a live right now. She goes, what do you, and that was the first time I'd met Nicole. Right. And I'm like, let's just do a live. And she goes,
I didn't know it was that spontaneous.
Yeah. It was like, literally, I'm like, let's go do it right now.
You're like, I got a phone. Let's do it.
I'm like, I'm getting Jeff Long, Mr. Video Camera Guy, and Damon. We did it. And we had everybody. Eddie was there, Nicole, Adam, Joe. It was so awesome. I might go back, watch a replay over the weekend. So, all right, let's go here. I always ask a question, and I think I asked Wendy, but I know Joe. I don't think we were asking this question when you were on, but I'm going to hit Adam.
There you go.
I got it. Since Adam's a newbie, I'm hitting Adam. Adam, are you sitting down?
Sorry, we're picking on you today.
I'm sitting down.
Okay. All right. You're in the great state of Ohio, the Buckeye State. And are you a baseball fan by any chance? You got a couple teams. You got the Guardians and the Reds. I don't know. You baseball?
I defer to the Reds. Yeah.
Okay. You're a Reds guy. Okay. Pete Rose. You go back to the 70s, right? So
Johnny Bench. More
Johnny Bench. All right. Better choice, right?
Wow.
Johnny Bench, my friend. Okay. Adam, Beck. It's the bottom of the ninth. The Reds it's tie score, man. They're playing the Cubs, the hated Cubs. Okay. Bottom of the ninth, there's a guy in second base, 2 outs, and it's tie score. And the manager's like, dude, I've got dinner reservations. I need this game to get over like right now. He turns down the bench. He says, hey, Beck, get up there and hit in the winning run, will you please? So you walk up, you grab your helmet, you grab your bat, you throw on your helmet. As you're walking to the plate, what is your walk-up song?
Oh, man. Now I'm going to reveal some things here that, I'm a metalhead.
Oh, no.
Right. I'm like a cleaned up metalhead. So I'm going Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth. And if nothing else, the crowd's going to be so excited that ball's going out of there.
Wow. I think we have our keynote walk-up song right there.
Little Megadeth for Adam. So Joe Sullivan from Milwaukee, who's an adopted St. Louis fan. Oh, you got it there, Damon?
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like Damon knew or something.
Yeah. Damon
I have Spotify at hand anytime.
Yeah, he does that every show. Joe Sullivan, Mr. I'm from Milwaukee, but live in St. Louis. I don't know who your team is. What's your walk-up song?
I don't know who my team is either, man. I can't really be a Cardinals fan when you grew up in a city with the team in the other division, but all my kids are Cardinals fans, and so I don't know what to do with all that.
Right. Kind of like,
oh man, I can't answer this kind of question. I don't even know where to go. Let's just go back to how about "Lose Yourself" by Eminem?
Lose Yourself. That's a good walk-up song. Good. All right. So we got Megadeth. We've got Lose Yourself. Wendy, I think I asked you I've asked you, what's your walk-up song?
Well, a few of you may know, I was a high school mascot. I was a tiger. So forever, my pump up song is Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger. Nice.
Yep.
Hey,
Classic.
three
Classic.
great choices. That Damon, how about that for that? So guys, if you've been hanging out for us, I know we had a great time talking about the Industrial Marketing Summit. It's a great time to stand up and stretch and give our 3 panelists a big roaring round of applause and thank them for sharing their energy, their expertise, their passion. Most importantly, and I goof around a lot, but in all seriousness, thank you guys for what you're doing for U.S. manufacturing, because this is not a small deal. This is not a small accomplishment. This is a major deal that you guys are, you have businesses to run, you have families that you're taking care of, and you guys are, taking this on and just really bettering the manufacturing community. So once again, we applaud you. We commend you. We just really admire what you guys are doing. So thank you all. I want to wish Damon, we do have a program on Monday. So we're going to be here Monday, but this is our last Friday. Yeah. So Damon, takeaways, what are your thoughts of today?
Well, I'm just excited to see what you guys are putting together here, because this is, as Joe said, niche down to the point that industrial marketing people can gain actionable insights from some of the people that are out there doing it every day. And this collaborations and the networking that's going to be done there is going to be so valuable, just because of what you said, Joe. A lot of times it's 1 or 2 marketing people in sizable companies that are trying to figure all this out. And you have the opportunity to drop right in with all these experienced people and the 3 of you on the stage here and get these ideas and go back with so much more and be able to do so much more for your companies. I'm just excited about this. You guys it's going to be awesome. Going to be awesome.
Yep. The friendships, the collaboration is going to be just priceless. So again, I'm thrilled to hang out with you guys. Thank you so much for what you're doing. We're going to close it out. We wish everybody an amazing, incredible weekend. God bless you. Happy holidays. If we don't see you on Monday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all those wonderful things. And hey, Damon, like we always like to say, just go out and be someone's inspiration, just like these 3 lovely people. And man, you'll just make the world a better place. So Damon, take it away, dude.
Wow, that's all I'm going to say today. If you are listening to this and you started late, go back to the beginning, because if you are interested at all in industrial marketing, you're going to want to learn more about the Industrial Marketing Summit. The website's in the comments, the LinkedIn page is in the comments. Listen to Wendy and Joe and Adam talking about it. Look the speakers up, the workshops you're going to be able to see, and get yourself to there and get some relationships built and collaborations, and just be able to help your companies you're working with more. I want to say thank you to the guests here today. You guys are going to put on an awesome event. I know it's going to be incredible. The speakers are just amazing. And then I want to say, Kurt, who the hell ever thought we would be here doing this long? I just can't say how much I appreciate that dude over there for us to be able to sit out and do this every week and have the fun that we get to do, because we get to do this. We get to do this and talk to these smart people.
That's right.
It's so great. Just thank you.
Hey, lots of love to you, brother. Thank you.
Then thanks everyone for being here today. We'll be back a Friday in January, one of the first Fridays in January.
Allison DeFord, man. Allison
DeFord's kicking it off.
Allison DeFord.
Thanks. So thanks everyone for being here today. Have a great holiday and just be good.